Today I want to talk about blasphemy against the Holy Spirit. It's the one unforgivable sin. And I know a lot of people are a little confused about it. Well, at least some people have come to me and talked to me about it, saying they're confused about it. Is it a one-time thing? Is it something you can accidentally do? How do you know if you're blaspheming against the Holy Spirit? Let me explain. The blasphemy against the Holy Spirit is, just to put it in simple terms, is about not being able to hear God's voice anymore. You've played games with God so many times that he's so far from you that you can no longer hear his voice. You can no longer hear correction. You can no longer hear direction. It's basically shutting him off, cutting your heart. It's like when the Pharaoh hardened his heart. You harden your heart so many times that eventually God will harden your heart to the point where you can't hear him. Once you get to that point, that means any sin you commit, you don't feel bad about it. In fact, you enjoy it to the utmost, a little too much. I would argue you that's all you can enjoy is that temporary enjoyment, because let's face it, all sin is one step less than good of what you're supposed to experience that by. What I mean by, like, okay, so example is we're supposed to wait to get married before we have sex, but yet we fornicate. You can have all the sex you want if you were if you were married. You can, God blesses that. It's a good gift from God. Sex is supposed to be enjoyed by a man and a woman in the context of a covenant. So that's just one example. But sin is just one step less than that. Sin is you can just have sex with all the people you want to, as much as you want to, and spread this your spirit amongst people, because let's face it, you do end up with soul ties and that. But I digress. Let's get back to the topic. So you do that enough, you play games with God enough, and you end up not being able to hear his voice. So it should be very, very scary to you whenever you are committing a sin and you don't feel bad. In fact, you feel relieved, or you feel like you really accomplished something. That's a scary thought, because if you were to die at that point, everyone's going to live for eternity. There's only two places you get to go. That's heaven or separation from God. So your decisions that you make on earth have eternal consequences, whether you like it or not. So if you are committing sins and you don't feel bad about it, and you can't hear the voice of God through your conscience, through the Holy Spirit, then you're either crossed that line, or you're already past the line. You've crossed the line, or you're on the line of blasphemy against the Holy Spirit. It's the only reason why it's unforgivable is because you don't feel bad. You don't see anything wrong with what you did, so you don't ask for forgiveness. I hope that was helpful. I'll talk more about it some other time. You have a blessed day.